Grand Theft Auto Online has been hugely successful since 2013, but it also has some major design problems. The worst of these is its grind-heavy economy. Almost everything in the game is overpriced, forcing players into hours of repetitive work just to make progress. And if Grand Theft Auto 6 Online is going to succeed, Rockstar needs to fix this, along with 3 other major issues. The problem isn't just that things are expensive, it's that the entire economy of Grand Theft Auto Online is built around grinding. Inflation has hit Los Santos hard, with a single shirt costing over $1,000 and player-owned police vehicles costing more than $4 million. It's clear that many items in the game are drastically overpriced. These prices aren't random, they exist to sell shark cards. Players can grind the cooperative heist for hours just to afford a single vehicle, or they can spend real money and skip the grind entirely. I know this works because I've done it myself. When I was in 6th grade, I spent all of my Christmas money on shark cards just so that I could buy an Oppressor Mark I and a facility. If Grand Theft Auto 6 Online wants to improve on this system, Rockstar needs to make the grind less extreme. There are 2 obvious ways to do that: increase job payouts or lower prices across the economy. Rockstar probably won't do both because the game still needs to sell shark cards, but even one of these changes would make progression feel far less exhausting. There is another glaring issue contributing to the grind problem: the mission design. The mission design in Grand Theft Auto Online can usually be boiled down to the same formula: drive to a location, kill the enemies, grab the supplies, and bring them back to your business. When you repeat that structure dozens or even hundreds of times, the grind becomes mind-numbing. Whether you're running businesses or grinding heists like the Diamond Casino, many missions start to feel exactly the same. I've ran the casino heist so many times that I don't even have to think during the hacking sections anymore. I just know the answers by memory. Rockstar doesn't need to completely reinvent mission design. The game just needs more variety so the grind doesn't feel identical every time. The second issue is how rigid many missions are. Players usually have very little freedom in how they approach an objective. Rockstar has improved this somewhat with newer heists, like the Cayo Perico, but there are still moments where the game forces you into a specific path. When Cayo Perico first released, my friends and I tried a strategy where 2 of us would parachute onto the island and loot secondary targets while the other 2 snuck toward the compound. After several failed attempts, we finally pulled it off and the compound team reached the gate undetected. We thought our plan had finally worked, until the game refused to let them enter because the entire team wasn't there. That moment completely killed our excitement. We had come up with our own strategy, but the game simply wouldn't allow the heist to be completed that way. Missions in Grand Theft Auto Online should feel more like a sandbox. Instead of forcing players down a single path, Rockstar should give the players the tools to let them figure out their own way to complete the objective. And this kind of mission design leads directly into another major problem with Grand Theft Auto Online. The game often discourages players from actually working together. Because of the grind-heavy economy and repetitive mission design, the most efficient way to make money in Grand Theft Auto is often to grind in a private lobby. There's very little incentive to run a business in public sessions where other players can destroy your cargo and wipe out hours of progress. Instead of encouraging interaction, the game pushes players to isolate themselves just to protect their profits. It wasn't always like this. When Rockstar first introduced heists in Grand Theft Auto Online, they required 4 players and gave everyone a specific role. Missions like the Pacific Standard job felt like scenes out of a heist movie, with each player contributing to the plan. Even though those heists don't pay nearly as well as the newer ones, they are still some of the most fun experiences in the game when you play with friends. Over time, however, newer content shifted toward solo grinding. Many of the most profitable activities can be completed alone or with just one other player, which removes the incentive to cooperate. Rockstar unintentionally reinforces this with the CEO and MC systems. Only a limited number of players can register as a CEO or MC in a session. and you need to be one of those roles to manage your businesses. The idea seems to be that players will join other organizations and work together, but the rewards for doing that are so small that most players simply don't bother. You can make so much more money running your own business instead of helping someone else run theirs. By implementing the 3 previously mentioned improvements, Rockstar can vastly improve the business system. The business system in Grand Theft Auto Online suffers from all 3 of these problems. It's grind heavy, the missions are repetitive, and the safest way to run them is usually in a solo lobby. If Rockstar wants businesses to be fun in Grand Theft Auto 6, they need to rethink how they work. First, the grind needs to be reduced with better payouts. Running a business should feel rewarding instead of like a second job. Rockstar can also improve the day-to-day gameplay by taking inspiration from simulator-style games. Instead of businesses passively producing product in the background, players could actually participate in running the operation. You might be the one managing production, organizing shipments, or handling deals. Of course, doing all of this alone would get repetitive, which is where multiplayer comes in. Your business should continue operating even when you're offline, run by the employees that you've hired. Other players could join your organization and help run the operation. To make that worthwhile, there should be real progression for crew members. Players could start at the bottom and work their way up through the ranks, earning a larger cut of the profits as they prove themselves. Instead of everyone grinding their own business alone, you'd be building a criminal organization together. Mission variety could also come from competing directly against other players. Instead of constantly fighting NPC gangs like the Lost MC or the Vagos, businesses could clash with real player organizations. Imagine raiding another crew's base to steal their product, only for the plan to fall apart and force your team to retreat, and later they launch a counterattack against your business. Over time, you could build allies or rivalries with other crews across the server. A system like that would make the business world feel far more alive, and it would finally turn the grinding into something dynamic and player-driven. Those are just a few improvements I'd like to see. What do you think GTA 6 Online needs to improve compared to GTA 5 Online?